Welcome everybody to this next part of this MSc program in dental facial orthodontics. My name is Dr. Stefan Decker and I'm going to guide you through an introduction today in this CADCAM3 module, Computer Assisted Design. And today we want to talk about my special area to start off, at least, about lingual braces, the CAD/CAM design of lingual braces. We talked before about indirect bonding, we talked about smile design, we talked about the aligner workflow, but now where it becomes very interesting is the digital and customized fabrication of lingual braces. So obviously what we already know is the first step when we do lingual braces is that we have to do either a PVS impression. We talked about the pros and cons already in detail when we talked about the scanner and everything. So of course the models then are poured, articulated, checked if there are any bubbles or any distortions in it, and then they will be scanned to digitize these casts. Or obviously you send already a scan in as STL data, then that scan gets checked and upload to the setup department, and they're gonna manufacture you a device and then send you the setup review, which we're gonna talk about later, to check. So basically when this is done, the company, any company nowadays who's a bit up to date, will generalize a digital setup. And depending on the software they provide, if it's Insignia, if it's CleanCheck Pro, if it's the treatment management portal, the AuthCare software, the Spark aligners, whatever you want to talk about, they all will provide you with a digital setup. And what you need to understand when they generate a digital setup, these people are most likely technicians who used to do manual setups in their hands, and now they sit in front of a big screen the whole day. They have a certain amount of setups to do a day to fulfill their requirements. But when you sit the whole day in front of the screen looking at teeth as big as a head, obviously you don't see as many details anymore as you have seen at the beginning of your day. So this is where we should have the opportunity, like you see here in this picture, to make changes in the setup relatively simple by drag and drop, and to see the changes we are doing, and obviously also to double check the treatment plan which we are looking at, if it's according to what we plan to do. So when then we accepted the setup, the company of Incognito will basically design the bracket base depending on the tooth surface with any kind of super construction top, if it's a bracket, if it's a tube, if it's a band, if there's a button, if there's a palatal bar, whatever there is, Herb's device, Force's device, they will be able to basically design the brackets according to your wishes. And this is where the true power comes in this system, in the Incognito system, because that's the only fully customized device out there on the lingual side. So you can get any kind of designer because they will print it nowadays and then cast it. So when they designed the bracket base, they will design, as I said, the bodies on these bracket bases individually to your needs. If it's tube with easy insertion, long tube, short tube, button, yeah, whatever there is, a bridge, if there's a splint. So this is the next process in the manufacturing. And then depending on this bracket design, they will customize a wire which has first order bands in, sometimes second order bands, and if it's a wind system, so to be as close to the tooth and therefore to the center of resistance as possible. So this is a very important part, of course. But all these first order bands, they are also problematic because a first order band, like a bend in the horizontal, will cause friction and binding, which we talk about in the fixed appliance module about. So there are other techniques out there which basically have a straight wire approach, like the edgewise approach in the buckle system. But obviously, when you talk about the system with a straight wire, you have to be aware that the bracket bodies are further away from the tooth, therefore probably more uncomfortable, and obviously less control because you're further away from the center of resistance, especially concerning the torque. So when the whole bracket base, the bracket body is designed, then these brackets, they will be printed because we have printer nowadays. Before that, they used to have 40 wax printers in the company, and basically one printer which prints composite replaced 40 wax printers. So they became far quicker than they used to be, and soon we will be able probably to print brackets directly, but at the moment the problem with that is still the accuracy of the slot, the precision of the slot. So when this is then done, obviously in the cognitive system, the brackets will be casted, barreled, and then polished. In the wind system, we don't have a customized system. It's just basically a cobalt-chrome alloy, which is bent towards the tooth and then customized with the composite base. Most lingual systems are customized with a lingual base made of common base or any other curing composite. So when this is polished and the wires are bent by a robot in first order band, they're going to be shipped out. Every quality check will be done and praised, and then the tray will be manufactured. In this case, it's a clear position tray, which is the most advanced tray at the moment, in my opinion, and it allows you very accurate positioning of your brackets. So it will be all packed, shipped, the quality control is happening. So this is the digital process of a lingual brace, and all the other lingual braces are quite similar, apart from that they don't cast the brackets. They normally use a standard bracket with a base and a customized base with, like I said, common base. Otherwise, it's more or less the same process as you've seen here.